What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and welcome to another episode of our First Down Training show. Today we're going to be talking about everybody wants to play D1 ball until they got to do the extra work and put in the extra time and do things that people do not want to do. So we're going to be discussing that today, and then we're going to be going over some current events. We're going to talk about the new Madden cover with Saquon Barkley, and then we're going to be getting into some of the questions that you guys have asked on previous episodes of this show. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get started. Now, fellas, I'm a firm believer that everybody has dreams and aspirations of playing at least college ball, but a lot of people obviously want to play at that Division I level. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people make a lot of excuses as to why they're not where they're at. Whether this is college football, D1 ball, starting on varsity, whatever goals you have, I think it's so common for athletes to place blame on other people when they're not looking in the mirror enough. So that's what we're going to be discussing today, because maybe it's not favoritism. Maybe the coach doesn't play favorites. Maybe the coach's son isn't just like, getting special treatment. Maybe you're not willing to sacrifice certain things that it takes to take your specific game to the next level. Because I'm going to be real with you guys, some people are just naturally gifted. That's just the unfortunate part about the sport that we play, any sport that we play. Think about basketball, right? Let's say you want to be in the NBA, but you're 6'2". There are going to be dudes you're competing with that are 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". Like, that's just the way it is. So what are you willing to do to be able to compete with those guys? Same thing in football. Some guys may just be naturally more gifted than you are, so what are you willing to do to compete with them? So I would say everybody wants to be a Division I player and a college player until it's time to get up early for practice. So I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're going to play college football, it is a 6 a.m. at the frickin' almost latest to 4 p.m. schedule. Like, we had a guy on our show a couple weeks ago who played quarterback at the University of Miami, and he was talking about the schedule that he had. He was getting up at 5 a.m. and he was working all the way until 4 p.m. when you factor in practices, classes, meetings, a second practice, a lift. He also played another sport too as well, but at the same time, guys, it's a grueling schedule. And some people are really motivated on day one. They're like, I'm going to get up early. I'm getting up at 4 a.m. I'm going to go hit the gym. Then I'm going to go to practice. Then I'm going to go to school, then we go to off-season lift, and then the next day rolls around, they're clicking snooze on the alarm. And at the end of the day, guys, like, I'm not criticizing anybody for sleeping in a little bit. Like, I'm not saying you got to get up that early. I'm just saying be consistent, and you got to be willing to make sacrifices. Is that staying up later to work? Is that getting up earlier to work? Are you creating more hours in the day for yourself to set the edge on another player? Like, they talked about that in that Tom Brady documentary, The Man in the Arena, how whenever at practice, their goal, they were competing with each other, and who did more because they were trying to set the edge. They were trying to get that edge on somebody, try to get to that next level. That's what it takes, honestly, guys. If you're not the most physically gifted, most physically talented, and you want to try to get to that level to compete with those dudes, what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to create more hours in your day by getting up earlier or staying up later and being consistent at that week in and week out to separate yourself? And not a lot of guys are willing to do that. That's just the honest truth of the matter. Now, second thing I would say, everybody wants to be a Division I player until it's hot or really cold at practice. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this, you guys. We used to have this phrase back when I played high school football. It's just another day at Disneyland when it was super hot. Be like maybe almost 100 degrees, 90 degrees. It's another day at Disneyland. We would just act like the heat didn't bother us because we were at practice to get better and we were at practice to improve our skills. But here's what happens, guys. And in college, they do not care. If they have an indoor facility, fine. But they do not care how hot it is. Try playing in Florida. Try playing in Georgia, in the South, anywhere. Outdoors, freaking humid. It's hot. It's gross outside. And a lot of dudes get to that field and they're just like, nah, I don't really want to practice today. Like, I'm just going to kind of go through the motions. I'm not here to get better. I'm not going to listen to my coaches. Like, we had a camp a couple years back in Houston, Texas. Some of you may have been there. Some of you may have not. But we had it in Houston, Texas, and it was hot, man. It was like almost 100 degrees, humid, like really bad. I had kids at the camp. They paid money to come get coached. They were in the bathroom because the bathroom was air conditioned and they stayed in there for 2 hours. I kept track. I saw them go to the bathroom and they stayed there for half the camp and then they left early. It's like, do you really, like, guys, we play football on conditions at the end of the day. Like, it's one thing if it's a training session and maybe it's pouring rain and we cancel the training session because quarterbacks can't throw, like, yeah, okay. But you play football on conditions. How bad do you want it? Like, do you want it when it's super cold? Do you want it when it's super hot, or only when it's perfect conditions, perfect weather, and you work out and it's not that hard? That's what, I mean, a big knock on California football players that we're soft because we have great weather year round. So we go to like a cold state or a hot state and it's just like we are all of a sudden not the same player, right? So you guys got to make sure that you're willing to work out when it's hot, when it's cold, when the conditions aren't great, and you're there to get better. Don't just get through practice. We are there to get better. You shouldn't be there anyways if you're not of that mindset of actually getting better. But everybody wants to play high-level college ball, but are you really willing to sacrifice that? Is the coach's son putting in work when it's really, really hot, and you're not? And then you're complaining like, oh, he's got it's favoritism. It's favoritism. Is it really favoritism, or is it you're not really willing to do the extra work? You're not willing to do the hard things to set the edge and to get better than that other individual you're competing with, right? Now, the next thing I will say, everybody wants to be D1 until they got to practice a couple times a day. So this is like 2-a-days in summer practice. This is like training after your practice. Like, guys, what I want to get across to you is that if you are trying to win a position battle, or you're trying to get to the next level and you're competing with a lot of guys, right? If you guys all go to the same practice, that's the same amount of work that you're doing. Like, I remember when I was in a quarterback competition, like, we'd go to practice and it's like, okay, I'm doing the exact same stuff as this other guy. We're getting the same better. So after practice ended, I would go train. I would go lift again. I was willing to do extra things outside of practice, multiple practices a day, multiple workouts a day, because I wanted to be better than him and I wanted to win. How bad do you actually want it, right? But when you're fatigued and when you're tired, you want to just go to sleep, you've had a long day at school, you skip a workout, that's maybe not what a Division I level athlete would do. Now listen, some of you probably know guys that are D1 who are extremely lazy, and those are those naturally gifted players that I'm talking about, that I talked about earlier in this video. And those guys can get away with it. But you need to be honest with yourself. Do I have those genetics? Am I really that naturally good? Or do I need to put in work? And most of us, like 98% of us, probably need to put in the extra work and need to put in the extra time. So what are you willing to sacrifice? At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Now, again, like, you have 2-a-days in summer practice. I don't even know if that's allowed in certain states anymore. I think that's ridiculous. But you have 2 practices a day. Like, in the first practice, you're going super hard, and then the second practice, you're dogging it. Every time you touch the field and it is a practice or training scenario, your mindset should not be just getting through it. Your mindset needs to be getting better and improving. And if that's your mindset, you are moving yourself closer to that goal that you have of playing college football. Okay, now, next thing I want to discuss, everybody wants to be Division I. Everybody wants to be the guy until they can go out with their friends and stay out really late when they got practice the next day. So here's the thing. This is where a lot of people get on, because I'm a firm believer, like, I talk about it all the time on my channels, on my socials. I talk about, like, oh, you got to do multiple workouts a day. That's what you're going to do in college, right? And so everybody's always like, oh, it's overtraining. You're training too much. You're training too much. Not if you prioritize your recovery and if you prioritize your sleep. Okay, so let's talk about it, right? So let's say you had a morning lift with the team, and then you had practice after school. It's a Friday, and then your friends want to go out at night. And, you know, I'm not saying don't hang out with friends. I'm not trying to say be a recluse, because you need friends and you need to be around people. I'm not saying be a recluse, you guys. It's not what I'm trying to say. But what I am trying to say is that your friends want to stay out till 2 in the morning, and you got like a training session at 9 the next day. Stay out at 2 in the morning, you roll into your house, maybe it's like 3 o'clock, get settled in, you go to bed like 3:30, and then you have to wake up at 6, right? You get 3 hours of sleep. So now you go to training and your workout's crappy. You're fatigued, you're tired, you're sore, and you don't get anything out of that training session. You just wasted a whole day, in my opinion, right? So, and it says a lot even if you show up to that. I work with a lot of high school athletes. I was in high school too, guys. I get the text messages 30 minutes before the session starts. Hey, coach, I'm not feeling well. I can't make it. AKA, you were out all night last night. And I'm not saying that, you know, you're doing anything bad, but you didn't get any sleep. And so you need to sleep in. You missed the workout. You missed the training session. That's not what Division I athletes do. What they do is they make their job, or I guess you could say your craft, if you will, not necessarily your job, because you're not getting paid for it yet, but your craft, they make that their priority. So if you're out with your friends, hey, man, I got to leave at 10. I got to leave at 10:30. I got to go get some sleep, because you sleep, that helps you recover. Again, like, it's unfortunate, but a lot of high school athletes will go out and like drink alcohol, right? I was never that guy, but I went to a high school that had a lot of alcohol problems, drug problems, and all that's around you, right? I never associated with those people because football was always my priority. What I was trying to accomplish was always my priority, right? And you see it too if you're a high school athlete watching this, and you see some guys that make bad decisions. And quite frankly, a lot of athletes will make those decisions. And they think, oh, what's the harm in it? It's just one day, you know, I worked hard all week, whatever. But the thing is, guys, is you don't know what that effect has on your body, what that effect has on your brain, what effect that has on your testosterone, and your recovery. Your recovery is going to be bad. You're going to get bad bad sleep. You're going to still be sore. Your body's not going to be fully rested, so you're not going to get the most out of your other workouts. So you need to make sure that you recover properly, and that means getting to bed at a reasonable time, eating the right stuff. I'm not saying, again, guys, I'm not saying to be a total recluse and just eat chicken and rice all day, but you get what I'm trying to say. You need to make sure, what are you willing to sacrifice? How disciplined are you willing to be able to achieve your goals? Because it's not just the goals that you make on the field with your team, it's all the decisions around that can affect those goals that you make on the field with the team. So guys, hope this was able to resonate for some of you. That's all I'm going to speak on that topic. But guys, everybody wants to play college football until it's time to actually really play college football, okay? Now, fellas, we're going to get into some current events, and then we're going to go over some questions that you guys left on a previous episode. But first, if you are a football player, guys, and you want to gain weight, go to that very first link in the description below where you can get a great protein powder to help you with weight gain this off season. It's a company that I own with my brother called AG Labs, and we developed a line of supplements specifically for athletes. We've had this company since 2020. It's been a very successful company for us, and we've had athletes all over the globe on our supplements, and it helps them put on size, put on weight, etc. So guys, if you want a protein powder to help you put on size this offseason, to get you bigger, to help you get ready for the next level, very first link in that description below. If you use the promo code FIRST25, FIRST25 at checkout, you can get 25% off your first protein order. So again, guys, very first link in that description below. Let's get into some current events, okay? So now, current event number 1, cover of Madden 26, Saquon Barkley. I think that's much deserved. I love Saquon. I love the cover of Madden. Or I love him being on the cover of Madden. Hopefully he doesn't get the Madden curse. But, I mean, me personally, honestly, guys, I haven't played Madden since, like, 2018. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. A lot of people ask me, like, hey, coach, you really good at Madden? I suck. Like, I'm terrible at Madden. Like, I play on rookie mode. Like, honestly, like, if you guys, I guarantee everybody watching this could probably beat me at Madden. Like, by a lot, too. And some people think, like, well, aren't you a coach? Don't you know plays? It's not the same. I'm just gonna say it. It's not the same. Like, so I don't know. Like, I'm excited for Saquon, but I'm not necessarily excited to play Madden 26 because I probably won't. I haven't played a video game in freaking forever. I think the last video game I played was probably Red Dead Redemption. And some of you may know that game, some of you may not. It's like the cowboy Grand Theft Auto. Like that game's so fun for me. I don't know why, but that's like my favorite video game of all time. But yeah, I'm just not really into Madden or the college football stuff. I think it's cool he's on the cover, but I just want to talk to you about that a little bit. Next current event, Panthers legend Cam Newton nominated for the 2026 College Football Hall of Fame class. So I got a debate for you guys. I got a debate. And this is a debate. I posted this on Instagram. I posted my Mount Rushmore of college quarterbacks. And I want to say I had Cam Newton, Tim Tebow, Vince Young, and I want to say I put Johnny Manziel on there. Those are my 4, right? I got a debate for you guys, and you can post this in the comments below. Who do you think is better in college? Cam Newton or Tim Tebow? Who would you take out of those two? When they're in college, when they're at their prime, not in the NFL, forget the NFL, in college, would you take Cam Newton or would you take Tim Tebow? That's a debate I have for you guys. So guys, post what you think in the comment section below, okay? So now, guys, we're gonna get into some of your questions that you left on a previous episode. Fellas, if you have questions on our YouTube channel every single morning and every single evening, and you guys know this, I answer and respond to every single comment that you guys leave. And the best comments I feature, or best questions I feature on our show. So guys, go to the comment section below. If you have questions, you want to get featured on our show, leave me a question, guys. I'd be happy to feature you on this episode. We really appreciate all the support that we get from you guys, okay? So now, question number 1. From Pan_Cake09234. I'm a 5'5", 100-pound rising 8th grade receiver. How can I gain more weight and get stronger to prepare for tackles? So if you were trying to gain weight as an 8th grader going into freshman ball, there are 3 things you want to focus on. Number 1, calorie surplus. Make sure you are consuming more calories than what you burn on a day-to-day basis. Get an Apple Watch, some type of tool, track the amount of calories that you burn, and then look on the back of your food ingredient labels and just see like, okay, this is how many calories I eat. I need to up my intake, whatever, and you need to be 40 to 50% above the amount of calories that you burn. Number 2, high protein intake. So you need to consume 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight. I think you said you were 100 pounds, so if you want to get to 110, I think that's viable, go 110 grams of protein a day. Very easy to do with some type of protein powder. Number 3, got to get in the gym. You mentioned that you want to get stronger too as well, so you got to get in the gym and lift. I would say the best rep range for muscle growth is 8 to 15 reps, and each week on exercises that maybe you can do this on, try to to increase the weight so you're consistently pushing yourself and you don't plateau. And I promise you, at your age and at your weight, you will gain weight, okay? So now, thanks for asking that, man. Question number 2 from Josiah V9E. What kind of workouts should I do as a quarterback? So for QBs in the gym, the 2 most important muscle groups I would say is going to be your core. Any exercise for your core, sit-ups, V-ups, ab wheel, Russian twist, anything will help you with rotational force in your throwing motion. Also getting your legs stronger. A good base helps you produce more ground force, so back squats, front squats, single leg squats, anything for your legs and anything for your core. And then I recommend a lot of band resistance stuff for your upper body, because your rotator cuff and your shoulder does play a factor. You need functional strength in your upper body. So like band pull-aparts, band wrap it over your head, band push-ups, to just keep functional strength but still have flexibility. And I think if you do those things as a quarterback, you will see improvements on the field from gym work, okay? Now, next question. Appreciate you asking that, man. From Faithful 49er. Hey, coach, I'm like 5'11", 130, pretty skinny, but very fast. I have decent hands, and I want to play receiver. But the high school I'm going to has pretty stacked receiving room. First off-season training starts mid-summer. What should I do till then? I'm going to be a freshman. So, if you were a freshman in high school and you were trying to compete on varsity, let's say you're a wide receiver, there are specific things that you need to improve on to play at that varsity level. One, you got to put on weight. So you got to get bigger. If you're a freshman on varsity, guys are going to be bigger than you, and guys are going to be faster than you. So second thing is improve your speed. So size, speed. Then you got to make sure that on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, you are just obsessed with the playbook. I'd reach out to the coach ahead of time and ask him if you can get a copy of the playbook so you know the plays. That's something that holds back a lot of young players. Then I'd work on your route running, being able to create separation. Then I'd work on your hands. Those are the 5 key pillars that I would say will help a freshman receiver compete with older varsity guys. So I hope that makes sense, man. I appreciate you asking that. All right, fellas, guys, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope this was able to give you some value. Hope you were able to learn something. But again, guys, if you have questions, post it in the comment section below. I read and respond to every single one of your guys' questions, and I feature it on this episode. So we really appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you next time.